Are you a fan of the Dragon Ball Super card game? If so, check out QueenCityGaming.com for sealed product, singles, and more. Just use promo code MafubaJar-10 to save 10% off your order every time.
Welcome back to the Mafuba Jar. We've been sealed away for another awesome deck profile. And today, guys, I got you one of the top dogs on the meta right now, and that's going to be the Green Broly deck. And everything here, well, the main support is from set 6, but the leader itself actually comes from the structure deck. So let's go ahead and take a look at him right here. So this is one of the new Broly leaders. He has an activate main, in which you get to search your deck for a green Frieza's Army 1-drop, but you only use it once per game. But the good side is that it really doesn't have any other cost. You don't have to like pitch anything, you don't take a life, you don't do anything like that. You just search for free. And his awakening is what I really like. You untap one energy and you get to draw a card. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Broly here. Now this side is just absolutely broken. Has a permanent where you can only have if you have two or more battle cards, you can't play any battle cards, which that's perfectly fine. That almost doesn't even matter. And his auto is a sparking 7. When he attacks, you draw up until you get to draw until you have 6 cards in hand. So if you attack with this guy when you have no hand, you're literally gonna draw 6 cards, which is just absolutely amazing. And his activate main is you choose one of your battle cards, and one of your opponent's battle cards, you knock them out, which helps with your whole 2 cards and less in battle area kind of requirement. So definitely with that. And even though it's mainly green, we do run a little bit of yellow in here because this Broly, like the yellow one we got from the Broly pack, is a Frieza's Army leader, so we get to take advantage of the Frieza's Army stuff as well. And just, yeah, like this is like one of the top spots for best deck in the format right now. So let's get into the main deck here. I'm going to be running 2 copies of Broly Unrealized Ambition. Some people like to run 3 of this guy. I personally think 2 is a good amount, because like I feel like 1 is too less and 4 is too many. 3 is okay. Like I don't necessarily have a problem with 3. It's just I feel that I only need 2. And he's a 1-drop 10k, which we don't see too often actually, so that's pretty good right there. And he has 2 autos. The first one is replay his card. If your leader is a green Frieza's Army, you pick 2 cards from your life and add them to your hand. So he helps you awaken super quickly. And his other auto is when his card is removed from a battle area by skill or KO'd. If your leader, again, green Frieza's Army, you choose 1 or 2 cards from your life, add them to your hand. Then you get to play a 4-drop green Broly BR from your hand. So most of your battle cards in this deck, you don't actually pay energy to play. You play them by effects like this. And that's how you get out the majority of your Brolys in this deck. Alright, next card here I'm going to be running is going to be one of our main searchers, 4 copies of Periga's Deadly Premonition. Now this is also another 1-drop that you can search with the leader, because it is a 1-drop green Frieza's Army. And he has 2 autos as well. His first auto is you look at your top 5 when you play him from your hand. You get to look for a Broly BR and add it to your hand. And the second auto is that when his card is removed from the battle area by a skill, so not KO, just removed by a skill, and your leader is a green Frieza's Army, you choose one of your green energy, you switch it to active mode. So it basically restands a green energy when he's removed from the battle area. And he searches a Broly BR, but the keyword is like when you play from your hand is important. So like if you play from the drop area or if you play from deck with Frieza's Call, he won't get that first effect. Alright, here, next up for Periga's cards. Sorry, I have a little weird tickle in my throat. That's why I sound like this. Gonna be running 3 copies of Periga's Rampage Trigger. Funny story about this one. Like, I did order one online, but the order is a little bit late right now. So that's why you see me running this proxy here for right now. So I apologize for that. And for you guys, sorry you guys have to see a proxy here, but I gotta do what I gotta do sometimes. So sorry about that, but that's the main story. Ordering online, right guys? Alright, anyway, so he has a lot of really amazing skills himself. His auto is that when you play his card from your hand, you choose up to 1 Broly control mechanism from your deck and activate it. That's the field skill that you're going to be playing in this deck. And his activate means you choose this card and 1 card in your battle area, place them in the owner's drop areas, and you get to choose one of these skills. You get to either choose up to one Broly BR with an energy cost of 6 or less from your deck and add it to your hand, or you could choose up to any Broly BR from your drop area and add it to your hand. So he's a way to get a Broly in the drop area to activate its skill and search for a Broly as well. So really, really good card here. Some people like to run 4 of this guy. I don't necessarily blame them, but I personally find 3 is a good number for me. Because at least half the time I'm already going to have a Broly control mechanism in hand, but I do understand the ability to want to search. I just don't like the idea of tapping myself out so quickly. Alright, next up for Paragus, once again, it's going to be our super combo here, Defending Father Paragus. Now, this is probably now one of the best super combos out there for green. Like, it's just amazing. So, when you come in with this card, if your leader card is green and your life's at 4 or less, you draw 2 cards and you choose 1 card from your hand, send it to the warp. So it's one of those draw 2, pitch 1, but any green leader can use this. So green in general has basically found its new super combo in my opinion, because like it's so good. Just be able to dig through 2 cards. Like the pitching one doesn't matter, you draw 2 cards, so like it's just really, really good. Alright, that's it for the Paragus stuff. Now let's get into the actual Broly cards here. This is going to be the first Broly 4-drop that we could play with our 1-drop Broly here. And he has some effects. His Activate Battle is that you choose 1 card from your hand, place it in a drop area, then you pick up to one of your opponent's battle cards when energy costs of 3 or less and KO it. And that's an Activate Battle, so when you attack, you could activate this once per turn. Also, during your opponent's turn, when they attack, you get to activate this to knock out something. So that's really, really cool. And he has the auto to where, when his cards are removed from a battle area by skill or KO'd, your leader cards are green for his army. You pitch 2 cards from your hand, and you get to play a Broly BR green with an energy cost of 6 from your hand. So, as I said, you're not really paying energy to be playing these guys. At least you shouldn't be if things are going well. So, along with this 4-drop, I am also running the 4-drop from the structure deck. So yeah, I'm running both in here. It's going to be both the main support from this actual set and stuff from the structure deck. To me, it always gives you options there, which I'll explain that reasoning in a little bit. So this 4-drop here is a 20k, has critical, so that's pretty cool. And he doesn't have like the discard to destroy something effect like the other Broly does. But again, more power and crit, so that's how it makes up for it. And his auto is when his card is removed from a battle area by skill or KO'd, you pitch 2 cards, and you get to play from your hand a 7-drop Broly BR. Which, I'll just go ahead and show you guys that one here. Gonna be running 3 copies of the 7-drop Broly the Ravager. Again, this you get from the structure deck. This is not something available in the main set itself. So, 30,000 critical, so that one's pretty good. And his Activate Battle is a once per turn. You burst 3, which means mill top 3, and your opponent has to choose a card from your hand and place it in the drop area. So that's the same thing with the 4-drop Broly, since an Activate Battle. When you attack, you can do it. During your opponent's turn, when they attack, you get to activate this to mill 3 and make them pitch a card while they attack. So really, really good there. Alright. Now let me get into the 6-drop you play with the Berserker Origins Broly. You play 3 copies of Broly Power Unleashed. Some people play 4, I personally like 3. So he's a 6-drop with Double Strike, and his permanent is that during battles with his card is attacking, your opponent cannot activate counter skills with an energy cost of 2 or more. So that's basically saying he can't be Mafuba. So that's really, really good, which means, darn it, guys, we can't stop him. Okay, bad joke, I'm sorry. But yeah, he's a double striker that can't be Mafuba, and he has an Activate Battle once per turn. You pitch a card to knock out any of your opponent's battle cards. So there's no limit to the cost here. It's just any battle card during battle, you get to pitch a card and knock it out. And his auto is when his card is removed from the battle area by skill or KO'd. You guys are noticing a pattern here. You get to pitch 2 cards and play a Broly with an energy cost of 8, which we in fact do have 3 copies of Broly Limits Transcended. Now this guy is just absolutely amazing. He's very similar to the 6-drop Broly. Double Strike, And his permanent is that during battles with his card is attacking, your opponent cannot activate skills with counter skills with 2 costs or more. So, once again, no Mafuba for this guy. And his activate battle is pretty simple but really good. During battle, once per turn, choose a card from your hand, pitch it, and you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and KO it. So it's the same as the 6-drop, except it ignores barrier as well. So that's really, really good, because like more and more things now are having barrier. So yeah, that's really, really good. That's it for my battle cards. I'm not running the secret variant here because we haven't, I'll be honest, we haven't pulled it yet. Not to mention that card is stupidly expensive right now. If you have it, put it in here. It is truly busted, but the deck is still competitive without the secret rare. That's just my honest opinion. Like, even though the secret rare is really good, at the end of the day, it is an ultimate, so you can only have 1 copy of it. And if you have it, yeah, it's great. But you don't need it necessarily to have a competitive Broly deck. And now I'm going to be going right into the extra cards here. Going to be running 3 copies of Shocking Death Ball. Now, I did try Wrathful Charge in this deck, but it just doesn't work with this particular Broly stuff. Like, Wrathful Charge, I feel, works much better with the old school Broly stuff that we got from, like, the old Broly stuff. So, from, like, set 1 and all that, Wrathful Charge, I feel, works better in that. But, again, I tried it in this. It doesn't work too well. At least in my opinion. So, it's a counter attack. And when you play this card, you negate the attack and choose one of your opponent's cards with energy cost of 2 or less, and knock it out. And of course, sparking 5, you get to take a life in your hand instead of paying the 1 green to activate it, which you're gonna have 5 cards in your drop area extremely quickly. So, yeah, that's why Shocking Death Ball. Not to mention, Storm is still kind of a thing with Super Shenron and all that. So, good way to deal with it. And next up, going to be running 4 copies of Broly Control Mechanism. This is the card that you get to search for from deck to activate with the Rampage Trigger Paragus. And this is how so many of your plays are going to be kicked off. So it's a field card, and its activate means that you place this card in a drop area, and you choose 1 Broly BR card from your battle area, place it in the drop area, and you get to draw a card. So, really, really good. As I said, this is one of the main ways to where you're discarding your own Brolys to just keep going off with their skills to either take life to play or pitch cards to play. Alright, and I did say earlier in the video that we are running a bit of a yellow line here. You'll be running 4 copies of Frieza's Call. You choose 1 Frieza's Army card when the energy cost is 2 or less from your deck and play it in rest mode. So, our targets are going to be the 1-drop Broly here, because the first auto only applies to when you play it from hand, that you have to take 2 life. So if you play this card from deck with Frieza's Call, you don't have to take the 2 life initially, which is good, especially if you need to redo this all over again and it's late game. So definitely good for that. It gets out the Paragus Deadly Premonition. It doesn't activate, this is what I was saying before, it doesn't activate the first auto, but you can still have it for the second auto to restand energy when you need it. And it also can get you this Paragus Rampage Trigger out. It won't activate the auto to search for a Broly Control Mechanism, but you're still able to play him down with Frieza's Call, and if you have a Broly BR out, you could still use the Activate main to pitch them both and search a Broly for somewhere. So, Frieza's Call has never been a more powerful card than it is right now. Like, it's just really insane. And since Broly is a Frieza's army leader, we are going to be running 3 copies of Cold Bloodlust. Just be able to negate all your opponent's skills on a card when they play is just too good. Even though that Deflect is still kind of a thing, like, quite a few cards do have Deflect, but it's not like Barrier to where like it seems like practically everything has it. So counterplay cards are still really good to run. And I also am running 2 Crusher Ball, because like Cold Bloodlust is nice enough, but you also want like more options to be able to just put it in rest mode. And just like, yeah, because even though Cold Bloodlust negates the skill, they can still attack with it. Crusher Ball gets played in rest mode, they can't attack with it for the turn. So it all depends on which you would prefer at the time. Alright, gonna keep going with the counterplay cards with 2 copies of Preemptive Strike. Leader card is in fact green here, so we get to take advantage of this, being able to when your opponent plays down a 4-drop or less from their hand, it automatically gets sent to the drop area instead of being played to begin with. So like it almost negates the play, but not exactly. It's a 50-50. Like I know there's been at least a few like questions when it comes to banning with this card's like ruling skill and all that, but it just gets like automatically sent to the drop area. Any effects that would be played, I believe, don't happen because it says automatically goes to the drop area instead of being played. So that's the rule we've been given right now. But again, there has been some questions popped up with this, so keep an eye on the Dragon Ball website because something might change with this card eventually. Can't say for sure. And the last 2 cards I run are 1 copy of A Kind Wish and 1 copy of Tragic Awakening. Kind Wish is really, really good. So if your leader cards are green for his army, you choose all your opponent's battle cards, ignoring Barrier, and place them at the bottom of the owner's deck. So it's like the best kind of removal. Barrier ignoring, and it goes to the bottom of the deck so it doesn't fuel the drop area for sparking or overwhelm or anything like that. And if you have no battle cards in your battle area, you get to search your deck for a 4-drop Broly and play it. So it nukes your whole opponent's field, and you get to search for a 4-drop if you have nothing. Tragic Awakening, some people I'm seeing run 2 of this guy. I get that, like the reason I did one of these instead is I didn't really want 2 Tragic Awakening because it's like a very desperate card. Like it's a 3-drop, which you have to have a Sparking 7 for, which for this deck that's no problem whatsoever. So what you do is you choose one of your energy and you place it in the drop area. Ouch. And then you get to play a Broly BR with an energy cost of 6 from your drop area and play it. So basically, when things aren't going well, you get to play this guy from your drop area for just paying 3 energy instead of the 6. So like, as I said, it's a very desperate card. Like, it could definitely turn a game around, but you have to be in a pretty bad spot to have to play this card right here. A Kind Wish, more energy, yeah, but you don't have to be, like, it doesn't, like, discard energy, so I don't know. I personally find having to discard energy a very desperate tactic, so. But then again, like, you do what you gotta do sometimes, so. That's the reason for my 1-1 line. If you want to do 2 Tragic Awakening, that's the more common version. That's perfectly fine. But I just like A Kind Wish because of what it can do. Alright, and with that, that has been my Broly deck profile. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that subscribe button, like, and comment down below. And as I said, this is like one of the top competitors for best deck in the format right now. And most of the cards aren't too bad to pick up. Like I said, don't worry too much about the secret rare if you don't have it. If you have it, fantastic. Put it in the deck. It's amazing. But if you don't have it, that's perfectly fine too. You could still, as I said, this deck is still competitively viable without that card. So guys, hope you all enjoyed this video. We'll see you guys around for more Dragon Ball Super deck profiles. And with that, you guys have been released.